What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be diving into Yungblud's new record, IDOLS. I'm pretty excited about this. This is actually the second Yungblud record I've ever checked out, and I've been following along with this since the singles started dropping. So I feel like Hello Heaven Hello that was a really big moment. I think listening to that song really made me realize how much Yungblud is offering in music. I think it's one thing to appreciate what he does when I react to it, but it's another thing when it finally hits and you're like, oh, like, I think I get it. You know what I mean? It's like a very different thing from enjoying the music to actually getting it. And I feel like that growth right there is really awesome. And so between that, Zombie, and Lovesick Lullaby, I've had these songs playing on repeat. Looking forward to this album. So before we get into today's video, just ask you guys to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Instagram where I post so much music content at Steven in Stereo. If you guys want to listen to the album listening party version of this and support my channel at the same time, you guys can check out Patreon. Links in the description. Obviously nothing cut out of those. Pacing, copyright, etc. We're gonna have, a little bit more choppy on YouTube, but doesn't matter. We're talking about the songs and I'm really excited. So again, I've been listening to the 3 singles so much. So obviously we're not gonna react to those, but I have full videos on each one of those songs that you can find on my YouTube channel if you're interested in what my initial thoughts were of those tracks. But I'm excited for this. Don't really know what to expect because the 3 singles do sound pretty different. So let's dive into IDOLS Part 1. Oh, I feel like I need sunglasses on for this.
All the girls are boys.
Kind of grungy.
All the boys are girls. Whatever happened to rivals?
Love that. Oh, that rock sound from him and the vocal. Oh, that bass. Woo! Oh, fuck yeah. These songs, like even just this track, has that kind of like epic and anthemic feel that I feel like we get from Hello Heaven Hello, and also in parts of Lovesick Lullaby as well. There's just something that feels very cinematic about these songs.
We're too much makeup to see.
Oh, that bass again. Man, there's just something about it's the grunginess in his vocal. It's that like gravelly sound, and also the fact that there's something about he like purposely doesn't hit these notes perfectly. Like you can hear when he'll go into this like that gravel sound, but you'll also hear him like almost just kind of let that vulnerability in there a little bit. So it's not about hitting the perfect note, it's about making you feel it, and you can hear that right here. Oh, and that guitar. I dig the cinematic piece to that so much. Like I said, it just, I feel that off of, some of the tracks off of the original 3 that came out. And I really love to still feel that in this. And I think that's very much on purpose. You can just feel this is a very emotional album. I can't tell right away based on the lyrics what this song's about, but it does kind of feel to me like living like IDOLS, in my opinion, would be living the life that other people feel impacted by and influenced by. And I think Yungblud's almost trying to say like, what happened to us, like just chasing our dreams regardless of what the fuck anybody thinks, because we're going to influence people. I'm obviously like probably wrong about that, but I do feel like a piece of that is there just in kind of some of the stuff that I heard in the lyrics there, although there is obviously a big love component either, which I think can also be true still. You want to dive all the way into love regardless of what other people are going to think. Yeah, again, I love the vocals here. Vulnerability is at an all-time high. And I already, like I said, that's one thing I did expect from what he had already put out from this, is we were going to have a very vulnerable album. All right, this is The Greatest Parade. You can dance on my coffin. Hell yeah. Okay, I love that. Hell yeah.
do is believe you need your praise, but I won't let you down.
Oh yeah.
You said we are the rain and the wind to the stars and the sun.
Woo! We are the rain, the winter, the stars, and the sun.
The greatest parade. The greatest parade.
Oh, such good energy right there.
Wait. Now I think I've forgotten who I am.
Oh yeah.
Well, can you remind me?
I haven't listened to his whole discography, but you guys got to let me know if he's done any other music that sounds like this. I'm so into it.
The rain and the wind to the stars and the sun.
Another one lyric.
Greatest parade.
Oh yeah.
The greatest
That guitar ring out.
greatest parade.
The longer it goes, the more tense it is.
And I know there's no tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I know it's just today.
Fuck yeah.
The greatest parade. The greatest parade. The greatest parade.
Oh, his vocals, man.
Greatest parade.
Oh. Wait, that was so theatrical right there. Oh man. At the same time, I really like this band called Creeper, which if you guys are a fan of Yungblud or from that side of the world, you might be aware of that band. And this part actually, well, this song in general kind of gives me Creeper vibes. This song in general now makes me want Yungblud to have a song with Creeper. Fucking sick harmony too right there. Ugh. Yes. He held that. He's still holding that note. What? When I talk about like that emotional release, that is that right there. You screaming into the fucking, just into the void. So I feel like this song is all about like I feel like it's the almost like cloak that you put on in life in a way. It's like the greatest parade. It's like we have to dance around and put on this act. But you could tell in this entire song that like it wasn't an upbeat, happy song. You could tell from that chord progression, you could tell from where we were playing that there was like tension and sadness there. And it's because we have to essentially put this display on of happiness or all these things for everyone to see. We're putting on the face of who we're supposed to be, if we even remember who we are anymore anyways. And then we go out and we put on, you know, ourselves for life. And that can be so damaging and distressing because you go out there to do that. And I feel like as somebody who struggles with a lot of mental health issues, but then also makes YouTube videos, you understand how these things start to happen, how you find out that some of the saddest people end up being the people that are like, you know, high energy or like having all this fun and stuff. And it really does feel like the greatest parade sometimes to have to mask all those things. So I love that feeling of having that tension in the music and the lyrics, but then also, you know, a song title called The Greatest Parade. And I'm sorry, but that belt at the end, him just going all out right there and then letting it just fade out as long as it could, that is the emotional release that you need with a song like this. So even if I'm wrong about it, I like my interpretation of it. So hell yeah. All right, this is Change.
Change, oh, won't you ever stay the same? Old daggers in my heart.
Love that delay.
Almost forgot that I need you. Pain.
You know what? I talked about this before in another album reaction I did of his. He definitely has an influence of David Bowie, obviously like unashamed of that. Why would you be? David Bowie, fucking, oh my God. But I love that he does that because I like just the subtle moments that he'll bring in that remind me of that, but it's still Yungblud's music. Like, it's so cool.
And you know that I care for disaster. Higher
Oh.
and lower the packet of lies.
Shit.
Why I could no longer fold. You find fighting
Let's go.
change.
Oh,
Oh, nothing's better than a change.
my little Bowie.
Nothing's so lonely inside
Oh, yeah.
of me.
I love the
Why
bass
you got so
mixing on this
inspired?
record.
Ready to go, but there's no change. Who do you really admire?
That is definitely composed from somebody who like cared about punk music at some point in their life. Like that's how you know that Yungblud and the people that he surrounds himself with cared about it, because I feel like the way that punk music was always produced, you had very heavy bass. So you know the bass riffs became very, very important. I feel like it led a lot of music, and you can tell that that was put in an emphasis on the production in this because the bass is very present with some really great riffs.
And you know that I care for disaster. High and low with a packet of lies. Why I could no longer fold. You find fighting it all.
I just love the way he says why I can no longer fold. It's the way it kind of just happens there is so cool.
And you know that I care for disaster. High and low with a packet of lies.
Right here.
Why I could no longer fold. You find fighting it all. Are you ready, boy?
Oh my god. This is what I'm talking about, that cinematic feel. Let's fucking go. I hope this is the song he performs live. Yeah, that's one of the tracks that you know you have to see live. I feel like especially with a guitar solo at the end that is so epic like that, it just all the things I was saying about this feeling very cinematic remain very true, especially in a song like this. And I just know that seeing Yungblud on stage, just fucking wind blowing all up in his face, the whole crowd screaming at him. This is one of those songs where it's like, yes, we're here. We're here. We understand the change. We are here for you, Yungblud. All right. I've been looking forward to listening to this song in particular because of the name. I don't know why. I think I originally read it as Maxwell Murder, and then I was like, oh, he's covering a punk track. But then I realized it's called Monday Murder, and I'm also still excited about it. So this is Monday Murder. Instantly reminds me of The Cure.
You shine with effervescent light. Monday murder, just another day to die.
I love that second vocal right there.
Lay down
I just love this riff. Oh, you already know what I'm going to say, so I won't say it. Just listen to that again. I fucking love it. Man, that songwriting right there and the structure, that Monday Murder. I'm not going to do it. I'm not singing on this channel. One more. One more for me. That's so punk. Good. It's like Descendants elements, pop punk elements. It'd be such a good festival song, you know it would. Maybe it's some of these big string section elements that are giving me that really cinematic feel. You know, it's really cool because I feel like a lot of Yungblud's influences come from a lot of emotional backgrounds. And so what's really cool is to like have his influence on music and all of that vulnerability and emotion that you're going to get from his influences, but at the same time utilizing really great production, big string sections, things that make it feel cinematic, to take what we already know to be emotional and make it hit even harder, you know, make you feel the theatrics and the drama of everything at the same time. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about music, is that you can really bring a lot of this to life just with the feeling. Like, I think people sometimes Well, maybe not always, but I think a lot of people sometimes it's not always about what a song actually means. It's not always about what a song is actually about. Sometimes it's about the vibe that you pick up when you listen to it. There's the saddest songs in the world have been some of my favorite at the happiest times of my life because the vibe that I picked up on it where I could still I could still think about the things that maybe made me sad about that song before, but also like recognize where I'm at when I listen to it now. The whole point I'm saying is like sometimes that feeling is the most important thing. And I feel like he puts a lot of emphasis on making you feel the feeling. And I'm really stoked about that because the production is making that very well felt. You know what I'm saying? Like between the bass riffs, all the good shit, we've got so many cool moments of these, gravelly, I was gonna say raspy and gravelly. I didn't want to say graspy, gravelly and raspy vocals. But then also throwing it with these like harmonies and then having a second vocal layer, running a different pattern, hitting these like last notes. Like it's just a really cool blend of things, all coming from a Yungblud album. I'm absolutely stoked about this, and it's definitely I'm gonna try to see him live in September, and it's definitely like I'm already thinking of songs that I hope to see on the set list from this record alone because these guitar parts are just going to be so cool live.
I see the distant smoke across the waterway and swim 1,000 miles just to hear you say
Oh
the
boy.
words that never come when you need them most to dry your eyes out.
God, I'm just going to say it again, man. Anybody influenced with anything that has this much emotion and comes in and makes music is making the right kind of music. Like you can hear it. It doesn't matter even what he says in a moment. It's what you fucking hear from him. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Just to hear you say the words that never come when you need them most to dry your eyes out.
Ugh.
Your bones,
Holy
pain
shit.
is how you learn, boy, you learn a lot when they hit
I just got goosebumps from that line, but pain is how you learn, and well, you learned a lot.
you in the face and you begged them all to stop until you rose to the sky and said, my God, what a beautiful scene. Now I know what you mean. Wanna
Fuck.
stay here forever.
That bass, oh my God.
Let it call, come better watch another generation stop. See the face in the shadow.
Yes.
Just a thread in the seams.
Man, that is his secret weapon right there is, not only hitting you with that emotion, but being able to take the vocals up like that too, just to really make you feel it.
Oh, just a thread in the seams.
Woo!
We'll be ghosts by tomorrow to the sky and say, my God, what a beautiful scene.
I can see a dance pit right here.
Wanna stay here forever. God, what if I know what you mean? You're the gateway to heaven. Gateway.
I can't tell if based on the lyrics, that first half is almost him talking about finding somebody who also had dealt with a lot of similar things like he did before, or if it's just him discovering himself and within maybe all the pain that he had kind of gone through, and maybe just kind of seeing like he's talking to God maybe, but really he's just kind of like letting it out. Like my God, I finally see myself. Like all the things that I had kind of gone through, now I realize that I can see heaven, or I can see a future outside of these things. Maybe I see that brightness within myself now. Or like I said, if it's more of a relationship type thing, which I don't think it is, but if it were be that person that you find that kind of like, saves you, so to speak. I'm never going to be upset about a good guitar break. Uh-oh. Where are we going? Oh, shit. Those cinematics again. Oh. This is such an experience in my headphones right now. Let's go. Hell yeah. Oh, fuck. This is where the pyro comes in live. This dude's so sick. Come on. How you just have fun with music and kill it at the fucking same time. Oh. It just feels so epic. Oof. And then just to pull off like that, oh, with the energy still feeling high, sometimes it leaves you like, oh man, we should have faded it out, because I'm like, whoo, I'm ready to go now. Especially that for whatever reason, he was like, you know what I should do right here? Bring a really like great heavy metal scream, like 80s hair metal scream to the back of this moment. And I'm so glad he did, because that's what I'm talking about. Have fun with the music while also kill it. And this is exactly what that looks like. So I really like this track, and I feel like lyrically, I feel like I kind of understood it, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know a lot about Yungblud's personal life, so it is hard to understand it from maybe his writing perspective. But just from what I hear, based on the beginning, it almost sounded like somebody who was kind of like addressing things that maybe they went through, and kind of like recognizing that like it wasn't okay, but like it happened, and now you're kind of like coming to terms with that, because I understand what that's like, because then there's the other side to that. You have to move forward with that. And it's almost like him addressing that after all that, he sort of like recognized his path. He kind of saw what his heaven is, or his gates to heaven. And he recognizes now that maybe that's a path he can use to move forward. So I'm probably wrong about that, but that is definitely my interpretation of those lyrics. And I just love that this entire last section is just all instrument driven. Great way to just let the song play out. Really cool guitar moment. And again, this is one of those records that I feel like he made this record with every intention of it being performed live. You can tell in these instruments. So I love that. Really going to be a treat to see him live. All right, this is fire.
Hey, pretty girl, would you like to spend the day with me?
Oh, cool mix on his voice. Sounds so 90s. Oh. Wait, this is sick. That riff? God damn. Comes in so smooth. Woo. Let's go. These instrumental breaks are great. Dude, I'm so glad they left these in these songs and they wrote them in there. Like, fuck yeah. Yes. Woo! Very jammy right there. Okay, so I think I realized I think what the song is about like 75% of the way through. That's what got me like really stoked there at the end. So what I think was happening lyrically, you guys know, I like to listen to the album without the lyrics a lot of the time, just so we can pick up the vibe. I told you, got to catch the feeling. But I do try to talk about the lyrics, especially when I kind of feel like I understand. And in this song, it almost seemed to me like him like speaking to people, almost like introducing himself to them in a way that's, let me help you in these times that you're struggling now. It's almost like, at one point he said, the boy maybe has like that rage inside him, but he has to kind of like numb himself just by playing with his toys. He hasn't quite, come to terms with maybe that rage that's inside of him. And Yungblud is going to be the one who kind of shows him that path, to get to the point to where they're, side by side. And my explanation of that was so dumb, I promise. But what I mean by that is it's essentially that person or that thing. It's that first band you're going to hear that changes your life. It's the thing you see on the news that upsets you so much that ignites that spark for you to want to make a change. It's any of those things. It's that fire. It's once it's ignited, you can't put it out. That to me, I feel like is very important in all of that, including like veganism for me. That was sparked by a band. And I think that that's what I'm trying to say is like Yungblud is trying to say, I can be the thing that helps you get out of these things because, you know, if you struggle with mental health, if you struggle with being alone, if you come from, you know, a rough background and trauma and all these things, you know more than anyone. We all understand just how important, you know, music can be for people that have, you know, had these things that have happened in their life. You have to have an escape somewhere. And it's almost the greatest form of therapy in the entire world. And even if I've completely misunderstood these lyrics altogether, I don't care because I definitely feel like what thought process it triggered in me made me appreciate Yungblud even more because he is that person for so many people. Just like the bands that changed my life were all, you know, that band for me and for so many people. Like I understand and he understands the role that he plays. Not that like it's of this self-importance thing, just of this, I have this giant platform and I've been in your shoes before. Let me try to make it better, or let me show you that there's another way. I love that. Woo, buddy. All right, War. Okay, that intro part right there reminded me so much of Zombie the Cranberries. And I think that was on purpose. Maybe not, but I think it was a little bit of an ode, and I love that. It probably wasn't at all. I'm just thinking too much.
But you don't let him look inside you, do you? I
Damn.
wish I could have been a better scar for you, for you.
I wish I could have been a better scar for you is such a good line.
To speak is another wasted breath without you.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanna be a fake.
Oh,
I wanna be a liar. I wanna be the one to lay you down.
oh my God. I want to be the one to let you down, sung that way. I love you.
I wanna be a liar. I wanna be the one to lay you down.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah. That's, God damn. Come on, that guitar is crying. Please, can you, can you just listen to that guitar cry and wail out after that chorus? Come on. Yes. Oh, I love that he can do that. So pretty.
But I wanna be a fake.
Oh. I'm sorry, I gotta go back. That was such a good transition. Yes. This is a beautiful song. It's also tragic as fuck because basically all he's trying to say is that he wanted to be not only all the good things for this person, but also all the bad things, because that's what you get when it's real love. You get everyone's good. You also get all the bad of them too. You get everyone's fake, everybody's liar. You are going to let the person that you love down. I'm sorry to say that. You're going to let them down at some point, right? The point is you're both on the same page. You're both in the same, you're in the same vehicle, right? So the goal always remains the same. You stay together. So you be that person for each other. You work through those things together. It's very tragic to say, like, in this very beautiful way, you know, Yungblud just shouting in the chorus, all of this, like, it's tragedy because it's like all of these sad emotions. I want to be those things with you, but you don't even want those things with me anymore. I don't even get your attention. He did say something at the same time, or he said something. He said, "You don't let luck in, do you?" And I kind of feel like part of it was like maybe he was, I don't even know, maybe you guys can connect this, but something about maybe implying like he was lucky to be with this person, like maybe he was lucky, or I, I don't know. There's just something about that line that I feel like has like a level of importance, because it seems like if you're lucky to be with somebody but that person doesn't let luck in, then it's like I'm lucky to be here but it's still not working out, so it's like I'm fucked either way. That's kind of what I was feeling on that. I love the guitar crying to us. I just feel like giving us that level of emotion from Yungblud, from Dom, but then turning around and giving it even harder from the instrumental, and then letting those two things blend at the same time. I'm absolutely here for it. All right. That's going to be another good song live. Oh man, I have thoughts. All right, Idols Part 2. We have to check out the rest of the album discography for sure.
Idols on the wall, edges cracked and all. Do they know the truth? Only you will know what it's like to be alone. Come back in the dirt of your heart, but idols of your own creation. That's where your imagination starts. You the way that you are.
Yo. Was he trying to say there that you... Okay, so he said you put up prison bars on your scars, which essentially was saying like all these things that happened to you, you let those things box you in and you lived your life that way. And I think that was based on Idols Part 1, because then in Idols Part 2, obviously, it kind of seems like there's resolution there. Like it turns out you can actually draw your own idols. You can create your own people to look up to. It doesn't have to be the people that either raised you or that you were around or that you've ever been told you needed to look up to, or maybe the people that even caused pain or trauma to you. Those aren't the people you want to idolize, and you shouldn't have to let their actions be the thing that influences you so much. Obviously easier said than done. I do my own therapy. Okay. I understand. So, but there's a lot of power in recognizing that you can sort of create your own future by creating the things you're going to look up to, or by drawing out that perfect life, which kind of goes back to, I think, the song Ghosts, which is what I thought Yungblud had kind of like said to himself, was almost like, I don't have to necessarily live within these traumas and truths that I've, lived throughout my life. I can start, a new path literally today, and I can find my own path to heaven this way by finding it within myself, by creating my own idols. Maybe I just confused you. I probably confused myself, and maybe I butchered those lyrics. But again, I'm all about the vibe here, in the sense that he is invoking a lot of thoughts within myself. I'm dealing with a lot of this. I feel like in my 30s, maybe some of you can relate. If it happened to you in your 20s, I'm sorry, but also congratulations in a way, because it's good to address it when you're younger. I do regret that I wouldn't have, but I will say that in my 30s, I have come to terms with a lot of things that have happened in my life leading up to being in my 30s. And with that, and a lot of therapy and other types of things, I've been able to sort of like break my own barriers around my mind, stop lying to myself about my own past. And then at the same time, I found a way to, take ownership of my quote unquote scars, get rid of those prison bars, and try to, let myself just be the most free and like liberated version of myself. So maybe that's why these lyrics are hitting that way to me. But I do kind of feel, I don't know how old Yungblud is, but I don't know that he's like incredibly younger than me. And this could be something that he's going through too. He's talking about his past a lot in this. And that is something that I feel like you start addressing around, like for me, it was around 29 is where like, it's like hit by a fucking train all at once. Yeah. So I love the idea of Idols Part 2 being what I think it's about. You guys can definitely let me know what it's actually about if you would like to as well. This is the last track. Supermoon.
You are a self-fulfilling prophecy, product of your own temptation. Live in your imagination. Superman. and supermoon. Tell me what inspires you lately. Maybe I'll
Tell me what inspires you lately is also such a good line, especially delivered this way in this context. I love that.
any more than you do.
Oh,
So don't be sad. Don't be sad. What inspires you lately?
love the raw feel of
Maybe
this
I
track.
remember you vaguely. Yeah. Superman,
Oh.
supermoon. Tell me what inspires you lately.
Ah, I fucking love how he says that.
Superman, supermoon. Tell me what inspires you lately.
Can I say, it's so funny. I didn't do a midnight release to this because I was actually seeing Jack's Mannequin last night, which is hilarious about what I'm about to say, but like, that's one of my favorite bands of all time. Everything in Transit's one of the best albums of all time. And I do believe that Andrew McMahon, Jack's Mannequin, you know, formerly of Something Corporate, really popularized like piano in more of like the pop punk world. And I recognize that this definitely has, you know, Elton John vibes as well. But considering Yungblud is definitely in that alt space, I love that this reminds me a lot of Jack's Mannequin in a way. But yeah, it's just funny because I would have listened to this as soon as I got home last night, except my ears were still ringing. Y'all know that like post-concert, like I can't fucking hear a thing except for this like low noise. I should probably wear ear protection, but I don't. Anyways, back to the song.
They won't ask if you're feeling strong enough. They won't ask, they don't know what it is that they love any more than you do. So alive when you're
Yeah.
yeah. They won't ask, they don't know what it is that they love any more than you do.
Oh,
So don't be sad. Don't be sad.
but why do I feel sad? Why do I still feel sad? I feel, man, I don't know. There's part of this song where I feel like there might be multiple meanings here because I feel sad by the end of it. And I don't know if that was the purpose of it, if it's like supposed to leave you on this like thought process, because it seems like he said you'll be happy, something about being happy when you're dead. But I don't think he means like your actual self being dead. But I think it's almost like this imagination that you're living in of either who you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to do. It's all those things that kind of throw me back to IDOLS as well, putting those prison bars around your scars. It kind of seems like he's trying to say, like, once you kill that version of yourself, you're going to be happier. You don't have to be sad. You'll be able to live your life and kind of find that presence within yourself. Again, all of that also throwing back to Ghosts as well, even though I know that there's maybe a little bit more going on in those lyrics. I do feel like it was all about like killing that version of yourself that's holding you back and allowing you to move forward. It almost feels like the entire record is all about creating the idol that you are going to follow that doesn't necessarily have to be anyone or any like real person or any trauma that you've been through or anything, but it can be the version of yourself that you wish to look up to, the version that you want to be. I actually heard, I've talked about this a couple of times, but I heard this piece of advice and it has been the most liberating piece of advice ever. So this album actually gives me the vibe of this advice all in one piece, but it is that you grow into the version of yourself that you needed to protect you when you were younger. And that really is a superpower to know. Like, I know I've said that, but that really is the biggest superpower. And if I can leave you with any takeaway from this record, I feel like it embodies that you are the person now, or at least the version of yourself that's going to be happy. This is based on my own experience, but the version of yourself that's going to be happy is the one where you stop putting all the masks up and you are that person that would have protected you. If I think about younger me, because I got bullied. I got made fun of for the stuff I liked. This person that makes these videos now is the version of people that, like, this is me who wanted people to recognize how much I loved this music or how much this kind of music was good, but never felt like I could do that because expressing that when I was younger, especially around the type of people that I was around or the type of music that I was around, it was very easy to get made fun of. I was never going to be cool enough no matter what, even if I tried. And that was the problem, is that I tried so much and I put those bars, those prison bars, around my own scars, just in that term, not even with any other things that I had going on in my life. And because of that, it took me a long time to finally open up and be able to be not only who I am, but the version of myself that would have beat the shit out of anybody that bullied me back then. And I feel like it's because I became sort of that idol that I always needed. And in Ghosts, I feel like Yungblud was saying something along those lines. Like, he may have met himself or the version of himself that's going to help him find, quote unquote, heaven, which in my case, if you don't necessarily believe in religion, I know that I personally don't, but you can look at that heaven as being this sort of like self liberation, this part where you are no longer confounded to like the ground level of what people have kind of made you feel like your life is. There's something really beautiful in that, even if that was just a crazy tangent just now. A couple things that stick out to me about this record. One, early on in Youngblood's career, I had listened to him. I liked what he was doing, but I didn't quite like dive all the way in. I feel like at that time he was still finding his footing as far as where, and this is basing off of not listening to the albums, by the way. So like, I will be standard corrected, I'm sure, but I felt like at that time he was finding his footing. There was a lot of blending of hip hop, which I'm a fan of, but it just kind of felt like it was very different than what I just got in this record. And that right there is not only artistic growth, but it's also growing and changing with the times. When I first heard Yungblud at that time, there was a lot of that, like I know Lil Uzi Vert was coming out that time. He was blending a lot of emo and stuff, obviously Juice WRLD, things like that. Yungblud fit into that really cool because he brought his blend of that while also bringing like that more rock edge to it. And I really appreciated that. However, I think he's found his sound right here. There's something cool about Hello Heaven Hello, in the sense that having a 10-minute track that is so epic like that, you do have to like be able to take on a song like that. And I love that his influences and kind of like the things he likes in music and where he's found his comfort in. Oh my God, a song like that stands the test of time. And it just goes to show that that artistic growth has landed us to a really cool place. Now, again, all of that without listening to all of the albums. So take that with a grain of salt. This record to me feels like it's got these great, symphonic moments, these string sections. It's got really cool drum pieces, but it's got these, these bass riffs that I feel are very like punk adjacent. Obviously, they're very funky as well and jazzy, but they're mixed in a very punk way that I feel like only people that really grew up listening to that kind of music would have taken the care and consideration to really want to put that much emphasis on it. But you hear it a lot in this. I'm really appreciative of that because Yungblud over that gives me that rebellious punk feeling at heart that he's got. It's that rage. I am falling off of my fucking chair. It's that rage about him that, I did catch on to very early on and made me want to stay aware of him because I feel like having that sort of energy in music is really cool. I feel like he represents a lot of us in the sense that I know that he struggles with mental health because he talks about it a lot. He seems very outspoken. And I do see like in any interviews that I see about him, he seems like he gets it. Like he's on the right wavelength. He's somebody that I would absolutely want to hang out with. And I think that when you can bring all that to music and it feels very authentic, it comes out in this manner. And I'm really appreciative of that. I will never get over Yungblud's vocal ability. I like that he can keep a raw vocal sounding raw, even though he's got the vocal talent to take it and make it a perfect note. That is a choice that is made there. And I think that doing that blended with the emotional pieces of these lyrics, there's so much going on that he can have that moment and it just triggers a response within you. And that's what I love about Yungblud's music being so parallel to a lot of like alternative music, and like pop punk type things and stuff. I know that's not fully what he's into, but those things are present on this. I mean, the dude loves that kind of music. So it's just very, very happening here. You know what I'm saying? I also really appreciate the David Bowie influences, the Elton John influences, the classic rock influences as a whole, because those things are simultaneously happening with that hard rock feeling as well. The guitars that are in this just sound beautiful. It makes me so excited to see this record performed live. Like I said, I've not listened to all of Youngblood's music. I've only heard one record prior to this, but I know that record in particular did also have a decent amount of David Bowie influence. And I spoke about it a lot in that record because I just felt like him taking that influence with what he's into made a really cool soundscape. But because I don't know all of his music, I can't rank this album on where I'm feeling with everything, but I will say this is my favorite sound from him. Out of all of the stuff I've heard over the years, this, you would think that I'm about to tell you it's that MGK Burt McCracken song they did. And I'm not gonna lie, that is one of the best songs I've ever heard, especially like from Yungblud. I just love that. So many worlds colliding right there. However, I think he's found his footing right here with this sound, and it's got me so intrigued. Like I said, from the singles, I was already hooked on wanting to check this record out, and those songs just kind of like captivated that feeling even harder. And I've been looking forward to this for so much. So literally when I left a festival last night seeing Jack's Mannequin, and I thought to myself, like, I got to get home to do this record. Like I saw people talking about it already and I'm like staying off the internet. Like what the fuck? Like I really want to listen to this thing. And by the time I sat down in my office, like I said, is this dull ringing in my ears of being at a festival for like 14 hours or whatever it was, of being sun-baked and fried and everything else. And then also hearing this ringing. And I was like, I can't do this album justice right now because I'm not going to be able to hear any of the high end of it. I fucking know y'all know what I'm talking about. Anybody who loves live music that much, you got to sit so close, or you got to stand so close to the fucking speakers that you can still hear the show the next day. I'm really stoked for Yungblud. I'm really stoked for this record. Also, I just want to say thank you to Yungblud and his team for like, they did like a zombie promo video on TikTok and Instagram, and they included my reaction in there. And that never goes unnoticed by me. I don't think that, I get that they're doing that for promo and stuff, but they don't truly recognize just how cool that is for a creator that is small like me to get recognition like that. It never is lost on me. So I just want to say thank you. No one's ever going to see this video, but I just want to say thank you because I think that's really fucking cool. And I'm very appreciative of that. And I appreciate that y'all cared what I had to say about that song. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. You guys can see the full uncut album listening party version of this over on Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube, that means it's already up over there. People are already watching it. So you guys can check that out as well. What else do I want to tell you guys to do? Oh, my 3 favorites. I'm not going to tell you. I've been making Instagram reels about it, just a way to not only promote Yungblud's album, but also talk about my video in case other people want to see it too. So I put my top 3 songs in an Instagram reel, usually about a week later, so I can listen to the album a shitload of times before I make a decision. Because I feel like once I make an Instagram reel about it, like I feel like I just put it in stone. I just tattooed it on my face or something, and now those 3 songs are my personality. So I'm very careful with the picks. So I'm going to be doing that one though. So if you guys don't already follow me, make sure to come follow me at Steven in Stereo. Let me know in the comment section. Obviously, all the lyrics I fucked up. The meanings that you actually think these songs are about, or maybe you liked my interpretations. Maybe let me know what you guys thought about those things too. And if you were also going through some of the things that I talked about in my life as well, and you want to let me know in the comment section, I'm okay with that as well. Like I said, this is a cool way to get people talking about a lot of this stuff and kind of like reimagine what we look up to and reimagine what we idolize, and whatever that may be for you. Hopefully it's the thing that gets those prison bars off the scars that made you into the person that you are today. Although there's nothing wrong with that. I love y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.